Thank you for defending me from her. I should have seen it coming. Perhaps I just didn't want to believe that she would betray me. In some ways, but in other ways it will be easier. The Berber tribes are united now, and there are other elders. I will invite them here and secure their loyalty. You are here to find someone, are you not? You had better get going before another beats you to it.
Are you looking for a book?
Claudius Tranquillus. He's dead.
There is a consequence for every action and inaction. Unfortunately, I could not save this old man.
You're not fooling anyone. You murdered Tranquillus.
What possible motive could I have? Your accusation is ridiculous. With what? Look, I'd love to stay and chat with you, but I have duties elsewhere. Now that this Egypt matter seems settled, it is time for us to pack up. See you in Rome.
Our Legate, your home welcomes you and your victorious legion. Death comes to us all eventually. All we can do is delay it. Sometimes not even that is possible. I'm sure you have a lot of things to discuss before you disband. Let me know when you're ready to proceed. Time to disband, Legate? You will always be a warrior at heart. Now it's time to be a citizen.
Good morning, Domina. You spent longer than usual getting ready today. It is wise to allow your body some time to heal. Fortunately, there are a lot of mundane, everyday tasks for you to take care of today. We have some outstanding debts. There's the issue of inheritance. The kitchen needs to know what you wish to eat today. Finally, the wine you have ordered has arrived. A slight understatement. His library and his 2 summer villas belong to you now. But the rights need to be officially transferred, and therein we run into some problems. Despite your station as the owner of this villa and as a temporary head of this family, you can't acquire additional property. Lucullus anticipated this and left everything to your husband. It may be a good idea to accelerate your plans. Having a husband would eliminate a lot of potential problems. A pragmatic approach could perhaps serve you better in this case. The mourners, they require their due payment. Additionally, one of them has severely injured herself during the funeral. She is in need of medical attention. As you wish. It is boar season. We should buy a few and keep them in stock. Flavius says the mussel harvest was pretty good too, if you fancy seafood. Last but not least, I can order a variety of fruits for you. I'll see if I can find some. Indeed? I was wondering about that. I assumed you were sampling the competition. Well, they have brought it to the study. We shall inspect the item. Perhaps it was intended for someone else. That never crossed my mind. I apologize. I'll bring your arms at once.
Excuse me. I expected a slightly warmer welcome. I assure you there is no need for you to brandish that knife. Someone you'd prefer to see in my stead? The pleasure is all mine. I do owe you an explanation. Well, Legate, or should I call you Legata? I value names and what they represent. In order to call you by your name, I feel I need to know who you are. I've come to visit you out of curiosity. There is form and procedure to be observed first, hence this introduction. Your reputation preceded your arrival in Rome. Both optimates and populares were intrigued by the deeds of this mysterious protégé of Lucullus. A prime candidate for senatorship, some said, while others saw you as a potential foe. None expected you to be a woman. In that way, and others. Shall we talk in a more private setting? I'm rather tired of standing around. Nothing could be further from the truth. Being a senator, I'm used to both kinds of venom. Of the tongue and of the food.
Under the circumstances, it might turn out to be disappointing. I shall strive for perfection nevertheless.
May I ask you a question? Why do you do all of this? Your personal problems were solved after the Asia campaign. Why risk everything again in Africa? You could have stayed home. Loyalty is an admirable virtue. One must also be loyal to oneself, though. You are not a servant of Lucullus. And you were ethically obligated to help. I wonder what you would have done if you were not. And after all of this is done, what would you like to do, ideally? Surely you jest. I will not mince my words. This is a man's world. But I believe that can prove to be an advantage for you. I'm pretty sure many people had their own assumptions based on their rigid minds and thoughts. Yet you have changed the expected course of events. It is intriguing. I can't even begin to guess how many secrets you're still keeping. Never said no to a good read. So far, the story's quite engaging. I'm very much interested in finding out more about you. Shall we continue this conversation over dinner? I'm famished. This is no food. It's an edible poem. I'm sad to have reached the finale. It seems there's a lot I have to learn. You could have taught Mago himself a few things about wine. Of all lies, worst are the unnecessary ones. It's getting late. Your ᴜsᴅɪ seem tired and you look ill at ease. What's on your mind? Only dishonest people are nervous in my presence. Are you dishonest? I was never one for vapid chatter and shallow flattery. I apologize if I've come across as stiff. Do I seem nervous? I don't think that's the word, but you are right. There is much at stake. Here's my first offer. I think we shall finish this flask in a more private setting. I'm sure there's a lot more you can show me. That's regrettable. Perhaps I have misread the mood. Still, I have enjoyed this evening. It was a welcome change of pace. Oh well. Fortunately, I have a second proposal, if you'll indulge me. You have displayed your aptitude for command and politics, and I admire your personality. But whatever your plans are, they will be difficult to bring to fruition as a woman. Certain things cannot legally be done by you. Ordinarily, an honorable man would not exploit such hardships. But few men are honorable. People are sure to interpret your situation as a weakness and take advantage. I am an honorable man. Let us get married. Think of it as a business arrangement. That is unfortunate. But I thank you for being honest about it. I shall preserve my dignity and not press the issue further. This has been an interesting encounter, to say the least. Thank you for everything you have done for me. If there's nothing else to do here, I'm afraid I have to retire now. Best of luck to you. I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Domina.
We are being summoned to appear at the court. You have committed a criminal offense, or so they claim. Someone must have suffered because of something you did. Frankly, there's no way to know unless we visit the magistrate. Both things can be true. Our actions sometimes cause harm to society, yet we may be unaware. Or perhaps you're being wrongful. It is best not. If you find yourself near the forum, you should talk to the magistrate. I will meet you there.
Despite all of our efforts, he did really position himself well politically.
I would not be surprised to see him become a consul soon. Then we should get ready for a disaster.
Our personal supply of Minerva's wisdom is almost depleted. Shall I send for a few more barrels from the vineyard? If they have any left, it is becoming a rare commodity these days.
Salve. I see you're on your way out. Glad I caught you. I wish I could say I was just dropping by for a cordial visit. However, I was in fact asked to come here by your friend. Eilər Callida has got herself into a great deal of trouble, and she has beseeched me to lend her my legal counsel. I told her I would represent her as a favor to you, if you are willing to owe me. For reasons that will become apparent, your friend is forced to maintain a low profile at the moment. She has chosen a discreet meeting spot, near the market. Please meet us there today, and she will explain the details of her predicament.
Hercules! What have you done? Silvius!
Who are you? Why did you kill that man? I assure you I do not. Why have you come here? Well, that does not sound like something I would do. How long ago was this? We're just a group of regular citizens who gather regularly to enjoy the finer things in life. Nobody is hurt, I swear on Juno Caprotina. The women are here by their own choice. Listen, I'm certain we can come to some sort of agreement. You are bereaved. Do you seek compensation? Get your hands off me!
The bitch killed Silvius! She's mad! Stop her!
You want to try me too? I will kill you all if I must. Save yourselves! You left yourself wide open! Get the lictors! Get anyone! Just one more. Should not be any trouble. Don't hurt me, please! I would never. Find your clothes and get out.
The great Ḥᴇᴜ Quinctius Aquilinus. Your reputation precedes you. They tell me you're here on business. So, let's discuss business. Indeed. I think I know who you're talking about. You seem to have an inexplicable soft spot for this girl. Curiously, I don't think you even know her name. It matters a lot. The price of an item depends on its value. Value can be very subjective. To me, for example, she is all but worthless. But she is the mother of your child. Isn't that right? That makes her more valuable to you than you can afford, I'm afraid. Indeed. Your rich patrician friend, the conqueror of Africa. Her vineyard has risen to quite a bit of fame over these past few years. The chance to make a competitor go bankrupt. I have both money and time. Salve, Legate. I hope you have been informed as to the nature of our potential transaction. Good. That will save us time. For this transaction, I will need a relatively hefty fee due to the sentimental value of the commodity. I'm thinking I can be persuaded to part with Lūkia, the sewer in question, in exchange for, say, half your vineyards. How does that sound?
What? That is insane! It's not a fair price for anything! Surely you won't go ahead with this, Legate. You do?
Hush, Aquilinus. The grown-ups are talking. My clerk will write up the papers at once. As soon as you sign, the girl is yours.
The girls, you mean? I want my daughter as well.
You do?
What you want, my dear Aquilinus, is of no consequence. I have the one sewer for sale, and that's it. I have no intention of selling the little one. I see. And let me guess. The easy way is I just hand over my valuable assets to you for nothing, and the hard way is what? You attack me in my own villa.
What are you doing? I can't... This would lower us to his level. It would turn us into criminals.
Stupid move. There are only two of you, and no time for regrets.
By Jupiter. What have we done? We have killed a citizen of Rome. Maybe. Or maybe there was. There had to be.
Please don't be so harsh on yourselves, Domini. You've saved my life today. And the life of my daughter.
I hope you're right, Lūkia. Go pick your girl up and take her to my friend's villa.
As you wish, Dominos.
Just Ḥᴇᴜ, please. Thank you for being here for me. Egypt has a queen now. You think that will bring stability over there at last?
Well, it can't hurt. She is said to be greatly beloved by the people.
Well, as long as the grain shipments resume, I guess it's all the same. Feel under the weather? I will attend to your health.
I love your dress. Where did you get it?
Thank you. It was purchased from Iomachia's clothing market in Pompeii.
I must arrange to
Salve, Domina. How can I be of assistance? I am the daughter of the smith who owns this shop. Are you here for him? I can ask him to come out. One moment.
Legate, it's good to see you out of your uniform again. How is civilian life treating you this time? Indeed I have. My family must eat. Only the best things. You are held in great esteem in my household. For you, it would have to be something prestigious. Tell me, have you heard of a Parazonium? The very same. You have managed just fine through 2 campaigns without it, but if nothing else, I'd say you've earned the right to wield such a blade. What say you? I can sell you one that you'll be proud to show off. To tell you the truth, I have one almost finished. It was ordered for the scion of another patrician house who was going to be a tribunus under Crassus. The young fool bedded the wrong girl and was stripped of his military commission, and the order was cancelled. If you'll wait for an hour, I will personalize it for you and finish the work. Ah, good, you're back. The Parazonium is finished. I engraved your initials on the hilt and got it nice and sharp for you. A well-tempered and carburized blade, if I do say so myself. Thank you, but it's not for sale. If you ever go to war again, I'll be with you. But here in Rome, I prefer my freedom. It was good to see you again, Legate, but if that'll be all, I must get back to work.
That is almost twice the price I normally pay.
Blame the war in Egypt. The price will fall again soon now that the war's over.
What good will that do me when I need it tonight?
My wife's family dreads the next census. I'm certain they will not be allowed to remain in their... An auction of fine sets!
Right.
Away. Thank you for coming. Hopefully this matter will be resolved quickly. So is ours. This is about your Servus, Secundus. It seems that last night he got quite drunk. In his intoxicated state, he got into a fight with another Servus.
With all due respect, Domina, that's hardly the most relevant question we can ask here.
On the contrary, it's actually a surprisingly relevant question. Not only did he win, he broke the other man's arm.
Oh.
He's your Servus, is he not? His actions fall under your purview and responsibility. It is not my place to tell you how you should handle your Servi. I am not a censor. Nevertheless, the punishment of your Servus is not the topic of this hearing. There's not much to say. The evidence is irrefutable. The other Servus was severely injured, costing his dominus valuable labor. Furthermore, there are criminal charges. This kind of violence is not to be tolerated. The sentence for the first offense will be mandatory. In total, this means you will have to pay 200 denarii to the offended dominus and 100 denarii to the state. Do you contest this ruling? I understand. Then our proceedings are over.
My cousin was at Alexandria, you know, on one of Vitellius'
You look like you've been
locations.
sleeping poorly.
How did they manage to take the city? The ship's fine.
There she is, the woman of the hour.
I need your help. They will kill me. I need someone to defend me at the court tomorrow.
He's only got worse.
It's a long story. What do you want to know?
At the clinic.
Rome.
So sorry.
Look,
I will pray for him at the temple of Apollo.
I am a murderer. And I thought we were over this with my family, but it wasn't even my fault. It was an accident. But Mother doesn't believe me. The moment I refused this new marriage they set up for me, Mother turned me in. I barely escaped. Thank you. I hadn't noticed. Any other brilliant observations you want to share with the class?
Your emotions are understandably frayed, Domina. But please do remember who your friends are in this trying time.
Feels like a lifetime ago. Before I joined the Legion, I killed my husband. Sort of. People were looking for me, and I was on the run. I could have found other places to hide, but I chose the Legion because the life appealed to me. Then Lucullus, he saw me for what I truly was. And he allowed me to be that person. That was the first time I experienced freedom. Freedom to live. Making my own decisions. Aiming wherever I want to, and releasing the arrow when I choose. Knowing that whatever happens to me is because of my decisions. It's not that easy. No matter how far I try to run, my past keeps catching up with me. Iulius Calidus is a warrior of renown in the Legion, and he has slain countless men. He's a hero. Iulia Calida has slain only one man. She is a murderer. And whenever I enter Rome, I turn back into Iulia, the husband killer. There will be a hearing tomorrow where they will try me for the murder of my late husband. I may be sentenced to death. I need Cicero to advocate on my behalf.
Matricide. It's a difficult situation. Was he a particularly cruel man?
Not by Roman standards.
I would certainly not use that line in front of the public. Please answer my question.
He was a bit full of himself, but actually he didn't really do anything bad to me.
He didn't even whip you a little bit?
You think he could have?
Indeed not. A pity. This makes defense difficult.
Maybe you're right. But then I will be on the run for the rest of my life.
A great deal. You would be in my debt. It's a very complex case, and success is not guaranteed. I admire your loyalty. In a few years' time, I plan to run for consul. You will have to contribute a great deal to my campaign to pay me back for this.
Thank you. It would be impossible to repay you, but this means a lot to me. I feel like I'm multiple people in one. Iulia Calida the warrior, and Iulia Calida the murderer. I don't really know which one I am, but I can't be both.
We will see what happens. Walete, don't be late tomorrow.
I will not tolerate these hijinks in my court. Both parties to this case have selected me as your Iudex Privatus. Show some respect, or go find someone else to preside. Is that clear? Let us continue then. To the accused, I pose this question. Why did you kill your husband?
Be very careful, Calida. I am here to argue on your behalf, but your answers will ultimately determine your fate.
Nevertheless, that was the outcome.
Intentions do matter. Many healers, in trying to cure a sickness, end up killing the patient. Does that mean the healer is a murderer?
What's your point, Senator? Was she trying to heal her husband? Your client isn't known as a healer.
Certainly not. She's one of the most capable warriors of Legio Victrix. We know she is capable of killing a man like her late husband. However, her capabilities alone do not constitute evidence.
Intentions. Very well. Let us assume that death was accidental. Was she loyal to her husband?
Is that why you killed him, dear?
Must we endure constant heckling by the accused's mother?
It almost feels like you want your daughter convicted, Domina. Was it you who called on the court?
It was not. I did. I am the paterfamilias. And your legatus is using you. What's the difference?
I do not understand exactly how you ended up in the Legion. Are they drafting women now?
He's questioning your character. That was artfully done. You didn't speak an uncomfortable truth, but you also did not lie.
Lucullus was a great imperator. If he picked you, he obviously must have seen something we do not. I think you are a dishonest person by nature, but Lucullus, I would trust even in death. I'm growing tired of this proceeding, and frankly, I've more or less made up my mind. Would the parties please repeat their demands?
We want her executed or exiled for her crimes against our family.
And we want her exonerated and free to walk the streets of Rome. I would ask the honored Iudex to take into consideration that my Cleons was once a friend of your nephew, Iulius Caesar.
Very well. Since the incident in question happened years ago, evidence is in short supply. Thus, I must decide based on my own observations. Despite her generally deceptive personality and her unwomanly profession, I have concluded with reasonable certainty that Iulia Callida is not guilty. I have found myself unable to decide without a shadow of a doubt, and doubt should benefit the accused. You are free, Domina.
Congratulations. I believe my work here is done.
You know I had no choice, sister. It was my duty. But despite it all, I am glad you're free. I will try to remember that. Wale, sister.
I've taken care of the payment. There's just one more matter we need to address. Secundus himself. As you command. I certainly wish you had found a less illegal and immoral way to eliminate our chief competitor. But I will accept that this can only be good for business. Caesar will make a good business partner, I believe. We will supply him well with our finest wine and give him the best possible conditions to succeed. It is irrelevant. A relationship with Cato could only serve you well. If you want to remain in the political game, you need a husband. Let me rephrase. You need a powerful and influential husband.
It really is a shame you and Cato could not come to an arrangement. He's such a fine young man. Don't go getting yourself married to some rough legionarius, you hear? Of course not, dear. But I beg you, just consider the standing of our family when you look for another suitor.
I insist. Accept it as an expression of my eternal gratitude. There you go. Be careful, though. That wine is sneakier than Calendar. Looks sweet, but hits you when you least expect.
Whose wine did you say this was?
A Carthaginian called Margot wrote it down in his book of recipes. Fantastic stuff. Never knew dry raisins could be this exciting. It is his kind of place, all right. And this is his kind of wine.
To Dominus Lucullus.
To Lucullus. It's also significantly more difficult than being a Centurio. You wouldn't understand. This sort of thing comes more easily to a woman. You think so? Well, it comes with the territory, I guess. Domestic and carefree life adds another kind of weight on your shoulders.
Or your belly.
What was that?
Something serious seems to be happening outside. We'd better take a look.
Let me grab my sword. Gauls are attacking Rome. But that's suicidal.
Domina, your mother may be in danger. We should check on her. As you wish.
I'll go get my blade. Save yourselves! In the fight, my friend.
burn the entire city down. We should flee to Ostia.
I heard they killed everyone in Ostia. It's too late.